So my name is Richard Den Brinker. I'm a Director of PR Technology. My partner is Paul Jacobson. We put the car together. We basically assembled it and made a fair percentage of it in-house.
My name's Rob Popestek, and the RP968 is my car, really. It's my idea and it's my baby.
Yeah, we built the roll cage, we did a lot of the work here. The engineers worked from this shop. A lot of things happened off-site, carbon, engine, bits and pieces, but we sort of assemble it here and we provide the team to run the car.
Hi, I'm Sammy Diasonos and I'm the aerodynamicist for the RP968 team. I've designed all the external components or the external surfaces that you see on the car, which help generate the downforce.
My name's Barton Mawer and I'm the lucky person who gets to hang on to this beast, the RP968. This sort of car rewards commitment and the high accuracy, which is probably one of my strengths. So I enjoy driving it. Some people get a bit scared even watching the onboard of what it takes or what it could be like inside, but to be honest, it's not as bad as what some people might think. And as we've developed the car, it's certainly become a lot more drivable. The earlier days, it was a beast.
So I've worked for the Toyota Formula One team, Caterham and Williams as well. And one of the big differences between Time Attack and those F1 teams is how many people you have developing the aerodynamics on each individual car.
It started off as a smaller project, but then it just turned into this great big thing it is now.
Hello and welcome to Sydney, Australia for the 2018 Yokohama World Time Attack Challenge presented by Track Warrior. Here we are, the wet conditions on Friday. Barton Mawer out early with the RP968. The response from Barton Mawer, huge through Armando, sparks, everything. You don't get a car more planted than that through that high-speed kernel.
Yeah, this is a car that everyone's been waiting to see, and you know, I think this year these boys are on song. It's a real credit to Rob Popestek and the whole RP968 crew. Barton Mawer, one of the most undersung drivers in Australia. PR Technology, all the guys involved in this car, real top-notch, you know.
Well, with this car, with RP968, 4 or 5 years ago. So we had big hopes at the time. It's harder than it looks.
I drove it 3 years ago, and it was probably a more terrifying experience I've had in my life, because at that time the car was very much in its development, early development stages. And as we've seen, the car has had so much potential, but early on there was still a lot of work to be done, and then I've stayed on board from the year 2 of the project, and we've just been developing and obviously getting faster and faster every year. Yeah, 2018 was our first year to win the WTAC, and we were very close to the outright lap record.
Well, I'd be lying if I didn't say winning last year. You know, that was pretty amazing. Really, it was an experience that I find hard to describe. So much work and so much effort goes in, so many hours, and for it to actually pull off, you know. So all the hype that we've been creating, it existed, yeah.
Absolute master in engineering. This is one of the baddest time attack cars you'll find anywhere in the world.
I would go so far as to say it would be number 1 in the world right now. Looking at this lap, I think they're going to smash that record out of the ballpark, Chris.
The car this year is the same base. It's the same engine, it's the same bodywork, but we're refining a whole lot of things. And it's even simple things, engine placement. We can move the engine back slightly and down a little bit, help weight balance. Right, we're going to do that. So it's chipping away now.
We're nowhere near the limit, I think, in any aspect with these cars. And the tyres is no different in my opinion. There's a lot of things that we are still trying to do to get the most out of the tyres, and it's great having this control tyre amongst all the cars, because it means that we all have the same base to start from.
The big changes have been going on behind me with the car. They haven't sat on their laurels here at PR Technology. We've got the car totally stripped, big surgery going on. So yes, it's within our reach.
Epic. All the power in now. He's got nothing else to do other than put one more gear down. It's all now in the lap of the goal. It says Barton Mawer done enough. He's done it. Minute 19. First minute 19 ever in Time Attack history. They've done it. Number one.
And what a credit to those guys. They've worked so hard for 4 years to put this together, and they've finally strung it together. And you know what, Chris? I can tell you now, that car's not even on maximum power.
You guys over the last couple of years, just tell us how it feels.
It feels a bit surreal, to be honest. As you know, these guys have been through so much. It's their 4th year attempt. It's no overnight success. And we've known these cars have potential. We've all known that, everybody who follows World Time Attack. And to finally deliver a sub-20, yeah, it's good.
Look, I definitely think the track record is within reach. Definitely. We could have got there last year, but we had a few issues with the car. But definitely, a second is always within reach.
We believe we have all the ingredients in place, and I wholeheartedly believe that this year's winner will have to break that lap record in order to win the event.
100% the car's got it in it. I hope Bart does. I'm sure he does. I'm sure he does.
I love the concept where you have to go out. We literally have one lap to lay it all down, and it just requires huge amounts of faith and blind confidence from me, and that's a big challenge. So we know the car's got potential to go in faster, but I still got to make that happen. So the team have given me the right tools to be able to get the job done, but the pressure's there for me to have to do that. But that's something I thrive on.
The best part of the car is we can break boundaries. You know, things that you think can't be broken, we can actually formulate a plan and get past them. And it's very satisfying.
Time Attack's really about the aero, but the engine's pretty good as well, but it's an aero car really.
The downforce that these cars generate is actually more than a Formula One car. Personally, my favourite component of the car is the one sitting behind me right now, the front wing and canard combination and the front bar. I think it's a very unique solution that we have in comparison to other people, not just from an aerodynamic perspective, but also how it assembles onto the car.
Look, there's been a lot of people have done a lot of work with the car, but Richard at PA Technology is really helped me.
So RP968's been a fantastic car to work with. It's very rare that anyone, mechanic, engineer, gets to work on something with not an open checkbook, but to facilitate any idea that anyone within the team has, and to be able to take it off in a direction.
Obviously, we as engineers have been trying to realise Rod's vision for the car, and for us to be able to demonstrate the vision, the potential of that vision has been hugely satisfying.
We're always busy. We're a Porsche specialist, but we've got 15 staff here and it's non-stop. So Time Attack increases the hype significantly.
Well, look, we want to beat the record, and we want to win. So yeah, I think we have to aim for an 18.
I appreciate the history of the event and watching cars like Nemo and Warren Luff win in the past, and then what Tilton has done, and then Hammerhead. Every sort of car has its own part of the story, isn't it? And RP968 now has come at the front of that story, but it's good to be part of it. I think this is something we could look back on in years to come and see it as a special moment of motorsport in this country. I think it's history being made.
Obviously, Murray's car is the second fastest car, and it's a really fast car, and it's got a lot of potential still in it, obviously.
So this year, it's on again, 18-19, October, SMP, Murray Coote, Hammerhead. Please come down. We're ready for a battle. And I haven't heard who's going to drive it yet this year, but I'm sure they're going to have someone quick in there and maybe some few others to surprise people who turn up. So hopefully everyone can come out. We'll be there putting up a good fight, and again, I'm sure it's going to be a great event.